Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. What's up, everyone? This is Sky. Then this is Nerd Sauce. This is our 5th episode, but it's going to be a little different tonight. We're going to have a full episode a little later in the week, but tonight we are revisiting our LA Comic-Con interviews. Jeremy did an awesome job out there finding people, getting some good stories, finding some good, comic book artists, producer, people who produce comic books. But what I've held back, and I have not told you, is that Jeremy got some super awesome interviews from one of my favorite shows of all time. So, without further ado, we have a really, really special guest in studio tonight, and that guy is Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome.
What's up, nerds? This is Jeremy in the house. What's up, Sky?
Not much. I'm glad you're here, man. Finally in studio.
Same here. I'm just all hyped up. I'm all juiced up, guys.
I know you're juiced up. And I don't even think you don't ever get caffeine, do you?
No, I'm all natural. Trust me, for those who know me, it's all natural.
Oh, God. You know what? Right now, Derek and Oscar and Daniel, who are the members of The Gathering, that's the other podcast we do, are probably listening to this going, oh, my God, you're just like Oscar. You say some crazy stuff.
What's up, Oscar? Go Raiders.
Okay. Wow. The Raiders, we'll talk about that that'll be another show for another day. Jeremy, so I'm super excited you're here. We're going to be doing a podcast later this week together, right? You're actually going to be the featured member on Nerd Sauce this week. So, Jeremy, welcome to Nerd Sauce.
Thank you, Sky.
Okay, so me and you went to LA Comic-Con, right? It was pretty cool. Did you have a good time?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. When was the last time me and you conned together?
So I believe it was 2007 at the LA Comic Convention, the same place they had this year's Comic Con. Yep.
And that was the Star Wars. What do they call it?
The Star Wars. I know that's what I actually saw David Prowse before he passed away.
I know David Prowse
was there. Oh. Kevin Baker. Also the guy who played Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew.
Oh,
Mayhew. My bad.
Just so you know, and forgive him now, Jeremy always mispronounces everyone's name. I'm surprised he doesn't call me Ski half the time. So, all right, Jeremy. So you got to interview some of my favorite characters. I had to go because I had a prior engagement. So you stuck around the con and started doing some interviews, and you interviewed members of X-Men 97, dude. Oh my God, I was super, super, super excited. Huh. That theme song's sick. I love it. All right, Jeremy. So, who'd you interview?
The first one I like to introduce from X-Men 97. By the way, they successfully completed their first season that came out earlier this year in March 2024. Second season coming up. For sure, it's a foregone conclusion. But the first one I like to introduce.
It streams on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, for those who don't know that, by the way, thank you, Sky. The first one I like to introduce is the guy who played Bishop, is Isaac Robinson Smith.
Now, just so you know, it's Bishop, and I told you Jeremy's going to butcher the names. I love it. Here's Mr. Bishop himself, Isaac. What was it? Isaac Robinson Smith.
Hello, I'm Jeremy from LA Comic Con. You won't believe it. I got the guy. I'll let him introduce himself with no introduction behind X-Men 97. Here he is.
Hey, my name is Isaac Robinson Smith. I'm the voice of Bishop on X-Men 97.
X-Men 97. And what we wanted to know, what's so popular? Like, what makes you guys so successful? What you do?
Well, it's because the show brings people back over across the generation. I mean, people watched the show when they were kids, and so they're coming back now and watch this new show with everybody. It's like, I have a lot of people, like parents are watching it with their kids, and so the storytelling is so successful because it reaches so many themes that people love, and it's so universal, and it's so, I don't know, it just touches a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. It's very impactful, and so because it crosses so many different kinds of people, it makes it really universal for people to enjoy and experience.
Now, I know you did these interviews. Did you ever watch the original, or were you doing it just for me?
Okay, the truth has to come out. I wish I did see it. Now I'm going to. I did it for you.
Thank you, Jeremy. You're a true friend. Okay, you're right, though. Because in 1997, this, to me, like, there was not a lot of X-Men stuff out there, right? Like, I don't think the first movie had actually came out yet, right? If you wanted X-Men, this is where you got it. So, like, you had Wolverine's character for the first time. Like, you had Jubilee, Rogue, Storm. Like, it was so cool. Gambit. Like, I loved seeing the comic books that I read growing up come to life. So it was so cool. So I'm still a little jealous, just so you know. All right, Jeremy, who do you have next?
The second person I interview is the person who played Morph. It is J.P. Carly Act.
Well, okay. It's been a while. It's been like 2 months since you did this. What was he like? Do you remember?
He was cool. He was awesome. And all these characters, they're just so awesome.
Yeah, they come across, like, in your interviews as very genuine and, like, really engaging.
They're very sincere. They're like real people. And they're not like stuck up like you see those. Well, you know, they're like real
some celebrities,
people,
yeah.
Like some celebrities. They're really out there. And no wonder there was so many people just waiting to get this interviews. Like, I had to be patient because they were so taking their time talking to these other people who were interviewing when I was.
There was a lot of people. You were told me there was a lot of people around.
I had to wait to get these interviews. It was not as easy. It's not like empty. There was a few crowds. I know. Even it came to closure, there was still a long line. Just tell you how X-Men 97 is so immensely popular.
Right. And originally it wasn't called X-Men 97. And if you haven't seen these shows, they're on Disney Plus. You can go back and watch the original, and then this kind of picks up. It's part of the same show, but they call the newer ones X-Men 97 because that's when the original shows aired. So here it is, Jeremy's interview with Morph.
This is Jeremy from LA Comic Con, going to another voiceover from X-Men. I'll let you introduce himself.
Hey, it's JP Carliak, the voice of Morph. I think what people love the most about Morph is his sense of humor. He's the comic relief of the show. They also just really love that this is a character that had such a tragic backstory in the original series and has gotten to just have so much more fun and a lighter time. And also, Morph is a queer character. They really love to see non-binary representation. And I think Morph appeals on a lot of levels.
What's the favorite thing about your character that you love so much?
I love that Morph is always just trying to figure out who he is. He had such a hard time in the previous series, and now that he's rejoined the team, I think he's trying to find his place within it, trying to find out who he is himself, and just what his job in the world is. So I love that exploration. I love to play that.
You know, I actually really like the question, like just what he said, that, you know, originally the character was so many problems. It was such a struggle for that character, and I like how they brought this character back and really kind of gave him another story. And I like the fact that he recognized that. That means he did his homework. I actually really loved that interview, like that came out, because it made me see that character differently. So that was good, Jeremy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Jeremy. So who was the last? And I'm sad it's the last one. I wish we could do this for hours, talk about these guys. Who was the last guy you talked to?
I had the privilege to interview the person who played Sunspot, G. Augustine Stini. G. Augustine Stini.
No, it's G. Augustine. Good try. I'm telling you, Jeremy. Jeremy is. Do you remember my name?
Sky.
Okay. Wow. He got it right. All right. Well done. Well, you know what? After this interview, we're gonna play it out. I just want that'll be the end of the podcast tonight. These interviews. But Jeremy, thank you for joining Nerd Sauce for the first time. I appreciate you being in studio.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. I got catches to watch some X-Men 97, but these interviews, they were just like phenomenal, fantastic, awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you did them, Jeremy. Thank you for taking your time and doing that. All right. Thank you for joining Nerd Sauce. We will see you later this week where we talk to the big guy over here, Mr. Jeremy. See you next time on Nerd Sauce.
This is Jeremy back at the scene with the X-Men. Yes, X-Men, folks. Here's the third part of the crew. With further no introductions, let me introduce to this person here.
Hello, everybody. This is Guy Agostini, a.k.a. Sunspot in X-Men 97.
Over here, we just like to ask you, the fans out there, what makes your character so interesting, so popular that people just love your character so much?
Wow, that's a really good question. I've been very fortunate to be, playing Roberto Sunspot, who is Brazilian originally like me. And so, one of the big things is like representing Latin Americans and Latinos. But as far as the character goes, his transformation into his solar-powered version, getting, the solar energy is pretty cool, and blasting fire, it's pretty amazing, So, yeah, it's a combination. He can also fly, so...
Oh, and I know there's so many characters. We got to ask you this. You mentioned Latin community. We got Latino crowd out there. We got to who's the most popular X-Men character? I mean, you'd be biased if you had to choose one.
I would, but look, I would choose, and I think the popularity goes to Mr. Wolverine, which was my favorite X-Men growing up, but I think it's the most popular.
Okay, there you have it. Over here, this is Guy Agostini. I got it right over here.